Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to go forward and accomplish that dream. This is episode 464, and I get transparent on Mogul Motivation often. I reveal a lot of things about my life, about my entrepreneurial journey, because that's the point. You can't be motivated or inspired unless I'm telling you the full truth. And on this episode, I'm going to share something deeply personal that I've experienced, which is God talks to me in August. Have you ever had a moment in your life or some moments in your life where without a shadow of a doubt, you knew it was God talking to you and attempting to get your attention? Only you can answer that question. But for me, I can recollect over the course of my life numerous occasions where that has happened to me, where without a shadow of a doubt, this was God talking to me, because there is no human, there is no force on this planet that can do divine things such as this. Right. And I had one of those moments in August back in 2016. I was at church. I was actually at Bible study. And this was during the period when I was writing my first novel, Board Games. I was writing my first novel and I just hit a wall. I had very bad writer's block and I hadn't wrote in like almost 2 months, maybe longer than that. And I was at Bible study. I'll never forget it. I was at Bible study, and after Bible study was over, the deacons are always at the altar offering to provide prayer to those who are in need. So I was in line and I walked up to one of the deacons for prayer, and I forgot what my prayer request was, but whatever it was, it had nothing to do with what the deacon said to me, right? Because as the deacon was praying, he literally said, "Lord, help him pick his pen back up." And that just blew my mind, because how you know I'm writing a book? How you know I'm writing? That was God literally telling me to pick my pen back up and finish that book. And I'm grateful that I did indeed finish that book, Board Games. And it was a bestseller on Amazon. And then I finished the sequel to Board Games 2 in 2021. That was God talking to me. But recently, this August 2024, I had another encounter with God. And this time, I had created a password with God. I'm not going to share that because that is too sacred and too personal. But I had created a password with God where whenever I see or hear this password, I know that's God trying to talk to me and get my attention. That's what I wrote down in my journal. That's what I declared. And I was headed to a photo shoot. And en route to this photo shoot, I saw the password, clear as day. And I'm like, wow, that's God. But in my human ignorance or arrogance or whatever you want to call it, I decided to have a Gideon moment. I decided to say, well, God, if this is truly you, show me this password 2 more times for a total of 3 times on my journey, on my drive to this photo shoot. I literally said that. As I'm driving, I don't see the password again. I get about maybe 10 minutes away from my destination, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to see it again. But it was good that I saw it the first time. I kid you not, everybody. The password popped up back to back within a minute span, which gave me a total of 3 times of witnessing and seeing the password that I created with God. And then not only that, after my photo shoot on the way back home, I saw the same password for a 4th time. That was God talking to me. That was God giving me confirmation. That was God saying, hey, stop trying to deny me and dodge me and listen to what I'm telling you. Because in this season that I'm in right now, as I'm working to finish my 3rd novel, as I'm working to get to the next level in my entrepreneurial journey, as I'm in a season where things are going good and I'm battling anxiety that something is going to go bad, God got my attention and told me, I got you. I have all the security and all the safety that you need. Now, the point of me sharing this story in my journey, my life, is simply for you to reflect on your own entrepreneurial journey, on your own career, on your own life, and think about, when has God tried to get your attention? Because we have to understand that, yes, we want money. Yes, we want material things. Yes, we want peace. Yes, we want financial freedom. Yes, we want control of our time. We want all of these things, but we have to remember that God is always in control of all these things, and God is never going to leave us without. That's what I was talking about on Mogul Motivation a couple weeks ago, right? That sustenance. God has always sustained us, even through the darkest times, even through the lowest valleys. God has always been present. And if we open our eyes, if we cut out the distractions, if we simply pay attention, we will see that God is constantly talking to us. We will see that God is constantly at work within us and around us. But we are so distracted by this world, ladies and gentlemen. We are so distracted by the bills. We are so distracted by all things negative. We are so distracted by social media. We are so distracted by energy vampires. We are so distracted by so many things that do not matter ultimately in the grand scheme of things. But in August, God has a way of getting my attention. And I guarantee, if you just sit back, be still, and think, you will find a pattern in which God gets your attention. It might not be a month. It might be a season. It might not be a season. It might be always after a certain occurrence. It might always be, there will always be some sort of pattern in which God is talking to you, if you just sit down and pay attention. And if you pay attention and hear God talking to you, you will understand the instructions of what you need to do. And that is the key that's going to take your business to the next level. That's the key that's going to deliver those thousands and those millions into your bank account. That's the key that's going to deliver you the keys to your dream home or your dream car. That is the key that's going to give you that financial freedom and that control of your time, if you listen to what God is telling you. And I'm so grateful that I listened. I'm so grateful that I am listening, because this is a very crucial season for me. I cannot afford to ignore God anymore. I cannot afford to put off my skills and my talents anymore. I can't afford to continue to procrastinate. Yes, take your time, but don't waste your time on whatever it is you are searching and striving for. Make sure you continue to go forward. Whether it's an inch, 3 feet, or a mile, you are still going forward. That's all that matters. Just don't stay in the same spot, and definitely do not go backwards. We can't afford it right now, ladies and gentlemen. God talks to me in August. God speaks in August. God may speak to you in January. God may speak to you in October. God may speak to you at certain points in your life. But if you just sit still and pay attention and cut out the distractions, you will understand what God needs you to do. So that's my message this week, everybody. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Just open your eyes, clean out your ears, and pay attention. Because the answers to all your problems, the answers on what you need to do, what you should do, is right there in front of you. We just haven't been paying attention. So if this podcast has benefited you in any way, shape, or form, I ask for 2 things as always. Number 1, please leave a 5-star review. And number 2, pass it on to a friend who may benefit from it as well. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next week.